In this video, we are doing Raw versus JPG. And hello guys, welcome back to another video. I've finally managed to kind of work something out in my tiny weeny little office, and we've now got a space that I can grow and film more often, hopefully, and have some nice, I like to call it tropical lighting going on. Ooh. Anyway, this is not what the video is about. This video is about why shoot RAW. Why shoot RAW? It does sound quite cool. Yeah, I shoot RAW. As well as sounding cool, it's actually got a reason to be used. I've actually written some notes down. I don't want to drag on this video for too long, so let's open it up. I've been shooting RAW for like 10 years anyway. Learned it all through YouTube, through Jared Poland, Fro Knows Photo. Check him out, he's really good. I learned everything about using a DSLR through watching his channel, but now I've been shooting RAW for 10 plus years now, so I want to tell you my reasons why I shoot RAW, why I equally shoot JPEG alongside RAW, and what you can do with RAW with some quick examples, if I can find some files. Yeah. So, highlight recovery. There is so much more detail captured by shooting RAW. You see, a JPEG is like a computer program inside the camera that has kind of compressed it all into what the image should look like, but it doesn't give you much flexibility on the tonal range, the dynamic range, all that sort of stuff. Whereas when you shoot RAW, it's actually just data that is presented into a computer software such as Lightroom or Camera Raw, and this allows you to tinker the settings until you're ready to export it and do further editing on. So with all the sliders you get the highlight one, and there is so much more recovery when you have blown out skies and stuff. So definitely number one on the why shoot RAW list is the highlight recovery. The second reason, there is loads more data captured. You got so much more flexibility on every slider. It's not like an oven baked image. You know, when you shoot JPEG, it's the computer and the camera that is kind of compressed it all into what it thinks is the best image. Whereas RAW, I mean, this is my interpretation of it, is loads of ingredients, like you can add your own amount of spice or flavoring to the image, and that's all captured non-destructively, so you can slide it. Yeah, I'd like more pepper. Ooh, not so much salt. Kind of a way I was picturing it, of describing to you, was picture a pre-packed meal. You know, the chef computer in the camera, the chef at the factory of where this delicious pre-packed meal is produced, they've added their flair already, and then you, the consumer, has received this so-called delicious dish. And anything else you try and add to it kind of almost ruins what the flavor the chef had in mind at the factory. The other end of that is for RAW. Imagine you are the chef and you have all the ingredients, you have all the spices, and you have all the flavoring and seasoning, and you can add pepper, you can add salt, you can add chili. Oh my god, you can add whatever you want to get that dinner slash photo tasting slash looking the way you want. Now, is that a good example? In my head it is. I think it works as an example. What's in my list again? Oh yes! If you've ever done some photo retouching or zoomed in and tried to adjust some levels of a JPEG, you'll notice that, like on skin for example, where it goes from a shady area to a lighter area, you can definitely see some artifacts happening. And what I mean by that is, like, there's patchy block if you do too much to it, like adjust the lighting or anything like that in Photoshop, you get quite a lot of, not pixelation as such, but actual artifact, JPEG artifact it's called. And this is where kind of it becomes like almost like Minecraft. There's actual kind of squares of a color next to a square of another color, and they're not like pixel squares, they are actual chunks. And the more and more you try and adjust the picture, the more and more you'll get these artifacts. You don't get this with RAW, especially not when you're first editing it. Obviously, if you push it too far, you can start to destroy the image, but the out of the camera RAW file, when you open it up in Lightroom, you're just greeted with beautiful skin quality, and you've got so much more flexibility. Quick one. Yes, number 4 on the list of upside down books. The ability to actually change your white balance again. Let's just say you forgot. Okay, you left it in cloudy mode and it was actually sunny. You do have all the drop down options of what you would see in your camera. Whether or not a JPEG in Lightroom can have the same flexibility of changing the white balance in post, we will find this out when I do a JPEG comparison to a RAW on the computer. From my experience, the RAW files give you all the options of tinkering your white balance before exporting, so you could shoot in any style and you can still correct it. Now we know we want to shoot RAW, you're probably thinking, oh no, I don't have Photoshop or Lightroom. Doesn't matter. There is loads of free software online that allows you to develop, as it were, your RAW files. So don't let the software stop you from shooting RAW. Yes, Lightroom, Photoshop, like the industry standard. But if you haven't got a license to Creative Cloud and you're not prepared to pay for one of these bits of software, have a little quick Google. There is definitely some options out there for free online RAW editing. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I shoot both sometimes, and this is especially true for client work. So I shoot RAW and JPEG. The reason I shoot the JPEGs is purely for speed. I do not want to be putting into contact sheets all the RAW files. It's too hard to go through and select which ones are keepers. So by shooting like at a medium quality JPEG, I'm able to flick through really quickly and actually kind of put those into a contact sheet for the client to review. Then we can easily get the client to sign off which ones they want, find those in the RAW file, and then get back to editing properly. So JPEGs can save you a lot of time at the beginning. So here we are in Lightroom, and I've imported some photos that I remember shooting on a friend's family shoot. We shot both RAW and JPEG again, so I could send over JPEGs for quick contact sheets. The ones marked red are the RAW files, and the ones not marked red are the JPEGs of the same shot. So let's dive into the first topic, which is highlight recovery. So we've opened up the develop, and let's literally see if we can bring any more information back from the sky. It is saying we've clipped the sky here, so that's not a good start anyway, but let's see what we can bring back with the highlight slider. Let's just do an auto adjustment so we can see kind of what it could look like quickly. And you know, I'll bring this down even more, I'll bring the shadows up a bit more. But on the whole, going from what you had to what you get, isn't that just a gorgeous picture? Managed to save a lot of detail from the shot, before and after. So, disclaimer, the JPEGs I shot were only at a medium quality, so there's going to be a bit more compression than what we would accurately have got. But this is pretty accurate to kind of what you do get with a JPEG. It's pretty poor results compared to the RAW. So if we back onto the auto, see if it can do anything better there, and bring the highlights down as much as we can. So that is the computer saying that is the best settings for the JPEG. Compare that to this. As you can see, there's no comparison. So let's try it with another picture. Let's have a look at this first image I took for them. Ignore the sun cream being applied to the face. But the JPEG, as you can see already, it is starting to lose detail. Now if we do a comparison view, yeah, general sharpness, and you can see the blockiness. This is what I call the Minecraft look, where there's actually like squares. If you look at that part on the nose on the RAW file, there's very, very subtle squares. It's more pixels. This one is like blocks of pixels. Remember, I was shooting just a medium quality JPEG, so I need to put that disclaimer in. You get so much more detail. Also, you might notice that the raw files are looking a lot less saturated, which is actually a good thing in my eye. The JPEGs got the profile applied straight out of camera, and to correct that would be a nightmare. I like this shot though, it's very cinematic. Let's have a look at, there's my little boy, there's Isaac, and here's my wife. Now, also while we're here, let me show you the white balance adjustments. You have on your sliders here at the top, you have white balance, and in the drop down you have everything that you get from within the camera. So you can obviously correct your color in post. Now, you go to the JPEG, unfortunately you only get auto or custom. So that sums it up just about. That is kind of it for this video. If you like it, please hit the like button. Why not subscribe, because I've got loads more kind of tutorials and stuff I would like to show. Feel free to comment below on whether you shoot RAW, JPEG, only RAW, only JPEG, and why you haven't started shooting RAW yet if you are only shooting JPEG. I'd love to know your thoughts. Any comments appreciated, and see you on the next video. Bye for now. Oh, and subscribe. Bye.